What if sharing your best stories isn't bragging, but a service to your future clients?
I think of your last 10 years as almost like a gold mine that contains all these gold nuggets. And those gold nuggets are stories, it's pedigree, it's experience, it's intellectual property, it's the networks that you've got, it's the brands that you've worked with. And what I find with a lot of people, creatives especially, is they go from thing to thing to thing to thing to thing, and they don't stop and kind of catalog. They don't compile the numbers. They don't say, I've worked on 47 projects with a combined value of X. They don't say, oh, I've worked with brands such as, Bentley and Toyota and, Ferrari. They just kind of go to the next thing, and they don't kind of like bring forward any of this pedigree or this story that they've got from their background. So I think one of the things that is really important in the lead up to approaching high-end clients is that you've got to have those stories, you've got to have your numbers, you've got to have your intellectual property, you've got to kind of do some digging and compile this stuff, because I think pedigree and experience is something that, these people look for. They're looking for a shortcut. They don't want to do a whole lot of due diligence. It's kind of like, well, if you've worked with great clients, that helps me with due diligence. If you've been featured on these blogs, that helps me with due diligence. If you've won these certain awards, then I don't have to do much thinking about that. So that's great. So awards are excellent for that. Big brands are excellent for that. Catalog of numbers and stories, excellent for that. So those are the kind of things that I want people to do before we even go look.
When you say due diligence, I know what that means. Can you explain it in layman's terms so people are like, what do you mean due diligence?
So if we think of a high-end client as someone who wants to protect their time and they don't want mistakes, they don't want things going wrong. So they're trying to, as quickly as possible, figure out, is this coach, consultant, agency legit? Are they going to do a great job? Or am I going to have to throw time at this? Is this going to be, a drain where I'm going to have to fix it and then get someone else to do it? That's their biggest. They want the leverage of bringing in the right person first. They're looking for clues. What are the clues that you've done a great job? There's a magic sentence that I love to give people when we go looking at their history. And the magic sentence is, I did something special for a certain type of client and we got a remarkable result, let me tell you. And that magic sentence, what we do is when I work with a client, we'll go through all the years and we'll actually have a little time and we'll have the magic sentence. I did something special with a certain type of client. We got a remarkable result. And we'll say, what's your best story from 2019? What's your best story from 2020? What's your best story from 2021? And we'll actually pull down all of those stories that fit the description of I did something special.